For decades, practices like Lean, Six Sigma, and automation have been seen as the gold standard for operational excellence. While these practices are widely implemented across industries, they no longer guarantee a competitive edge to every player. Let's take banking for an example. Firms like HSBC, Citi, Bank of America, and Westpac have all implemented Six Sigma, but their market shares differ significantly. This raises an important question. What drives a service organization's competitiveness when almost all its competitors adopt the same or similar operational improvement practices? Why do only a few firms stand out?
The answer is capability building. In our research, we dug deep into how firms can go beyond these short-term operational improvements to focus on building the operational capabilities that really help firms to gain a competitive advantage. Instead of just making incremental improvements, firms need to develop capabilities that allow them to continuously evolve, adapt to changes in the market, and stay ahead of their competition. That's where the real advantage lies. Things like the ability to innovate, to align their resources strategically, and to continuously discover new opportunities for improvement. And these capabilities, in turn, allow them to create a competitive edge that isn't easily replicated by others.
The researchers used a two-phase approach to address this question scientifically. In phase 1, the data are collected from semi-structured interviews with the senior management of 4 competing global banks. These banks are selected using 3 specific criteria. First, retail banking was chosen as a suitable setting for frequently changing their processes and systems to meet customer service levels. Second, the selection was then narrowed down to large banks that compete in global markets as they have a stronger resource infrastructure and a larger customer base than small and mid-sized banks. And lastly, the researchers used J.D. Power's Power Circle ratings to assess the firm's competitive positions. The interview data was coded for qualitative, within, and cross-case data analysis and identified 49 first-order indicators, like how well a firm integrates customer feedback, how effectively it redeploys resources, and how open it is to experiment with new ideas, etc. These indicators are then grouped using affinity group exercises into 7 second-order concepts. 1. Continuously scanning the internal environment to identify opportunities. 2. Constantly looking for ways to sense external developments. 3. Continuous improvement of processes and systems. 4. Commitment to continuous learning about how to improve among people. 5. Continuous renewal and repurposing of broader organizational resources. 6. Institutionalizing change or ability to create a culture of change. 7. Ability to create disruptive or radical innovation and efforts to develop market acuity. Lastly, these second-order concepts were further abstracted and validated to reveal the capabilities of operational excellence in services. That is, discover, improve, align, and transform.
Through our research, we identified 4 key capabilities that firms need to focus on if they want to move from the short-term improvements to long-term competitiveness. The first is the discover capability. Firms need to develop the ability to continuously scan their internal processes, that is, their internal environment, as well as the external environment for opportunities. The firms that excel are the ones that are constantly learning from both their successes as well as from their failures. The second capability is the improve capability. This goes beyond just tweaking processes. It's about creating a culture where improvement is embedded into the organization. Everyone, from the top management to the front lines, need to be involved in learning how to do things better, how to solve problems, and how to innovate. And this learning mindset is key to staying competitive. And measuring that is what we call as the improve capability. Next, we have the third one, the align capability. This is crucial. It's not enough to improve isolated processes. Firms need to align their resources, systems, and strategies so that these improvements actually contribute to the long-term goals of the firm. Alignment ensures that your operational successes are feeding directly into your strategic objectives rather than just being short-term wins or incremental improvements. And finally, the transform capability. This is where the real competitive advantage is built. Firms that focus on transformation don't just react to changes, they lead them. They create environments where innovation can thrive, where disruption is welcomed, and where the firm is constantly evolving. These firms don't just adapt to change, they drive it.
In phase 2 of the study, the researchers monitored these 4 banks for an additional 2 years. More than 100 interviews with the mid-management personnel based on the phase 1 findings, site visits, archival data analysis helped identify how the different levels of operational excellence capabilities of each bank led to their distinct competitive positions. Additionally, 6 years of longitudinal data on operational strategic quality performance was examined. Based on a classification rubric, researchers measured each capability as low, medium, or high for all 4 banks. They found that the least competitive bank scored low on almost all 4 capabilities, while the most competitive excelled in all 4 capabilities. The banks with the medium competitiveness confirmed a sand cone structure.
To ensure our findings weren't just specific to banking, we also tested this framework in another service industry, that is healthcare, and found that the results held up. This tells us that the capability building model as a sand cone model that we presented here is broadly applicable and not just limited to one service sector. This exercise helped us to make the following propositions. First, firms with the discover capability exhibit environmental awareness, which enables them to survive in the market. Our second proposition is that the firms with cumulatively built discover and improve capabilities are more likely to develop competitive parity than firms without these capabilities. Thirdly, firms that develop the align capability, which is cumulatively built over the discover and improve capabilities, are more likely to develop a competitive advantage than firms without this capability. And lastly, firms with discover, improve, align, and transform capabilities, which are cumulatively built, are more likely to gain a long-term competitive advantage than the firms without these capabilities. We define operational excellence as a firm's ability to discover, improve, align, and transform, which are cumulative capabilities that enable it to consistently enhance its current competencies, learn new competencies from the external environment, and thus gain competitiveness.
Through this research, the researchers have presented 5 microfoundations of operational excellence, the 4 capabilities discover, improve, align, and transform, and their cumulative sand cone structure, which explains the mechanism that interconnects them.
So what does it mean to managers? It means that focusing solely on operational improvement isn't enough in today's competitive, volatile markets. But if you really want to create a lasting value, you need to think about capability building. You need to ask yourself, are we just making short-term improvements, or are we building the capabilities that will allow us to continuously evolve and lead in the market?